We'll get started. So the first thing I would love to do is pray, and then we'll dive into everything we'll talk about. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for the parents in this room that have chosen to make faith a priority in the life of their kid. Thank you so much that they faithfully bring their child here to learn more about you, to grow in their faith, to start building that foundation of faith that can carry into their future. Parenting is so hard, and I'm just so thankful for parents that do it with intention and that are really fulfilling those baptismal vows to grow their child in the faith. So thank you for them, and we also thank you and praise you for Matt and for bringing him to us at Grace, and I'm just so excited to see how you'll work through him and in him in this youth ministry and our young adult ministry. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, so there's been some changes. You guys have probably heard, and hopefully you were either at the installation or you've seen enough about how we're going to celebrate him with cupcakes and all those kind of things. But Matt is here. That's the main reason we wanted to have a parent meeting, is to introduce Matt and also just to give you some background on this position and what will it look like moving forward. So history, we need to go back to go forward. Over the past 6 years, Grace's youth ministry has increased in our average attendance, retreat numbers, and volunteer roles, while also increasing in importance and needs. So what I mean by importance and needs is that, quite honestly, the importance of youth ministry, I think, and young adult ministry has never been higher. The amount of volunteers we need, the amount of attention each individual youth needs is gone up. As you know, because you experienced it, like COVID really did affect a lot of our teenagers in really deep ways. And so the amount of one-on-one counseling that I've been doing has gone way up. The amount of volunteer support that's been needed has also gone up. And just the amount of complexity our youth ministry has with the number of events and retreats and those kind of things. We also have a very gaping hole in our congregation, which is college and young adult ministry. We have a decent amount of 18 to 28-year-olds, but we don't really have anything particularly for them. And so it's really cool and exciting to see that potentially be changing soon. So Grace attempted to meet that increasing need with DC interns. So I'm going to take you way back to before I got here. Joel Howard, which is now our senior pastor, was an associate pastor. And on his plate, I don't know if you guys realize this, his job description was associate pastor, which comes with a lot of responsibility. He was also in charge of missions, and then he was in charge of birth through high school ministry. So that was a very impossible job description. Right now, we have different people for almost every single one of those roles. So it's been really neat to see how when we add staff, we're actually able to grow each one of those ministry areas. You guys can see that probably through the work of Jeff Eggold, who started as our missions person this year, and hopefully you've seen the differences. I mean, we're way more focused on mission than we ever have been because of that staff position. So we know that it makes a difference. So we've had different DC interns. I'm a DCE, Matt's a DCE. It basically means Director of Christian Education. It means we are literally went to school for 4 years to be able to do education in a congregational setting. So Nick Butcher was the first one. Then he left and took a call somewhere else. Then I came, and I didn't leave, still here. But that's when Joel transitioned to senior pastor, and so I basically took over what Pastor Howard was doing, what Joel was doing. Then we had Olivia Johnson come alongside me in that intern position. And so she was our job descriptions were very similar. So she was almost my under shepherd, like we were doing very similar job descriptions. That changed a little bit when Josh Castens became our intern, because he really focused on youth ministry more so than children and family. So you might have seen a little bit of a difference between their job descriptions. Now, in general, interns are by definition a short-term solution. Our internship program for a DCE is only a year long. So what was happening with these interns is I was training them for about 4 months-ish, and then for the last 6 to 8 months, they were really useful, and then they would leave. So that wasn't going to be, I guess, sustainable long-term. And so basically, Joel and I sat down and said, this isn't going to work forever. You know, we can't just keep getting interns and having them leave again and again and again. It's also not good for our youth ministry, right? Because what happens is kids really start to like one intern or really get a strong relationship with them, and then they leave. And that's just not good, sustainable youth ministry. So we decided that a full-time position was going to be what we were going to look for. The call committee started to meet in March of 2022. So it's been a long time coming, about a full year. The first round was unsuccessful, so we got a bunch of names, we did interviews, and it just didn't go anywhere. Then the second round, we decided to include Concordia graduates, and during that interview process, we interviewed Matt. So that is the call committee. I wanted you guys to know their names. Mitch Heiser was on there for children's ministry. Jeannie Fisher was on there for family ministry. Nate Cox was youth ministry. Stacy Perko, youth ministry. Brooke was youth ministry. And Brian was youth ministry. So what we wanted was at least one children's ministry representative and family representative, because Matt, although his focus will be in youth and young adult, we also, a goal is that we replace each other. So like on weekends that I have to be gone, Matt will be me, and vice versa. So that just creates a little bit more sustainability in our ministry as well. Awesome. So these were I wanted to show you this because every interview question that we asked in this process, we focused on one of these 12 character traits, which were the things that we felt like the person that takes over our youth ministry and young adult ministry needs to have. So we had faith, big heart, communication, authentic, team dynamics, leadership, enthusiastic, organized, growth mindset, flexible, reliable, and creative. And that's a lot to live up to. It's quite the list. But I can truly say, like, after our first interview with Matt, we like turned off the little Zoom, and immediately we were all just silent, and we looked at each other, and it was Nate Cox. I don't know if you guys know him. He's a big guy that plays bass, but he just looked at us, and he was like, well, if we don't call him, I don't know what we're doing. So he was like, we don't need to do any more interviews, like it's a done deal. And we're like, well, we actually have to talk about it. But in other words, we clearly saw these character traits in Matt, and we were really, really excited about the possibility of having him join us here at Grace. So this spring, what I want to talk to you guys about is really that this is a transitional season for both me and for Matt. And we're planning to do this in a very slow way on purpose. So the slow transition is basically so that Matt can be properly trained and onboarded in a way that keeps kind of our standard high-quality ministry going. So I will maintain leadership of youth ministry throughout the spring with Matt more in that supportive role. That will be till the end of the spring. Really summer and into the fall is when Matt's going to take on primary leadership of all of that. That is so that we can do this square. Like for everything, we have already started doing this, is, you know, like I lead something, he watches me do that, then the next time he's gonna be leading it, I'm gonna be watching it, that kind of thing. And we have to do that with a lot of areas of ministry. You know, leading our youth ministry action team, teaching Ignite, setting up for Ignite, leading retreats, leading events. So we really want Matt to have that experience of seeing me do it, and then being able to like have me give feedback on him doing it, and then him leading it by himself. So this spring is going to be that season where we're going to be doing a lot of that, which is why this spring you'll also see Matt and I being together a lot of the time, whereas in the future, the goal will be clearly that I'm not at everything you're at, and you're not at everything I'm at, is that we'll separate and be able to multiply ministry in that way. So, like I said, the summer and the fall will be under Matt's leadership, with the exception of Generate. So for those that have youth going on Generate, I will still be leading that trip, just again, because it's the square. So next summer, he will be leading Generate, but this time he's going to be able to watch somebody lead Generate. That's kind of what we're doing to make sure that this process goes as smoothly as possible. Now, the important part here is also that he's a full DCE. So like, I don't know what other way to explain this, but he's not an intern. So he's already done his internship. He's already installed and commissioned. So that doesn't mean, even though I'm going to be taking some of the lead on things in the spring, that you shouldn't go to him. I'm actually going to encourage you guys, if you have questions related to youth ministry, you start to reach out to him. If I get parent emails, I'm actually going to start just forwarding them to Matt so that he can start answering them and getting to know parent questions and all those sorts of things. So, if you have questions, try to go to Matt, and if he doesn't know the answer, he'll just come to me. And we'll just play that game back and forth for the spring, and that's a-okay. But it gets us kind of in that training mode so that he can eventually take over. So what am I going to do? That's the big question, right? So I am not leaving. I have heard that from so many people that just assume that Matt's taking over my position. That is not true. I am staying, but I do have a new role. My role is going to be called Director of Family Ministry. What my focus is going to be is family ministry and children's ministry with oversight of youth ministry and young adult ministry. So basically lead family ministry. I'm going to be taking over the MOPS, which is the Moms of Preschooler group we have. I'm going to be doing things like the women's retreat. I'm going to be doing a lot more on parenting because we do not have a good support for a parent ministry yet, and I want to build that. So there'll be a lot more on parenting, there'll be a lot more on marriage, and there'll be a lot more of like family events as a whole. This is kind of the direction that we want to move as a congregation, is how do we support the entire family and not just care for the individuals? How do we make the home the heart of faith and life? So that's going to be my big passion. I actually am literally 2 weeks away from finishing my classes for my master's in family life at Concordia, Wisconsin. So the last 2.5 years I've been taking master classes to prepare me for this role, specifically in family ministry. So it's something that I've done a lot of classes and training on. I've taken the classes in marriage and parenting and trauma counseling and all sorts of classes in order to be able to fill this role as well as possible. It's also funny because before I got married, I took the class on marriage, so I said I was, like, we're all good. Like, I know everything now. So, just kidding. But the other thing is to lead a children's ministry. I know some of you guys have kids in our children's ministry. Some of you guys are past that age. But I just think it's really important to focus in on children's ministry because it's kind of always been an afterthought here at Grace, which I don't love, but it just has been. Youth ministry takes up so much of my time. So before Matt got here, I was about 60 to 70% of my week would be youth ministry and 30%-ish was children's ministry. So I'll be able to give children's ministry a lot more time and attention with this new role, which is going to be really good because we're one of the only Lutheran churches I know of that has a larger youth ministry than we have a children's ministry. It's usually not the case, and there just needs to be a good amount of work in our children's ministry. So I'm excited to take that on. And then I will be overseeing youth, college, and young adult. So I'm Matt's direct supervisor. So he doesn't report directly to Pastor Howard, he reports to me, which means that I'll still have a voice in Ignite. I will still be around. I will absolutely still be teaching every once in a while. I will just not be doing kind of the groundwork, and a lot of that stuff will be with Matt. So that's my new role, and I'll pass things over to Matt.
To get the picture of that.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, I'm Matt. I'm super excited for this new role, and I'm so excited that you guys are all here. Just wanted to start off with a little about me, if you didn't already know. Some of these things were in the video that you guys may have seen of my kind of introduction. But I grew up outside of a small town outside of Champaign, Illinois, which is like central Illinois. It's called Tolono. It's a farm town. We had drive your tractor to school day and all those things. So little town. But I'm the youngest of 5. I come from like a blended family, so my dad is a pastor. He's my stepdad, but he's been my dad since I was like 5. But yeah, I'm the youngest of 5. The oldest is like 34-ish. And then I went to Concordia, University of Chicago. Originally in business because I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I knew business was just kind of like a general major, and I figured if I didn't know, like that's something to start with at least. And so that's what I did, and then ended up switching to psychology, and then eventually my sophomore year, the end of my sophomore year, I switched to the DCE program and as my major, with psychology and theology as minors. So I just felt like that's the direction that God was leading me. And I had talked a lot about it with family, a lot of friends, and they just kind of pointed out skills and things that they saw in me, and I had a lot of praying, and eventually took the step and became a DCE. I did my internship, so through that program they have you do field work, and so my field work was in Chicago still. I'm at a church, and after 4 years of college, then they send you on a 1-year internship. So my internship was in Alaska. I had no say in where I was going. They just send you there, and you have like an assignment day basically, and a service. And so like that's where I found out, and I didn't really ever expect Alaska to. I knew it could be anywhere in the U.S., but that was pretty extreme, and it was really fun. I learned a lot, lots of unique challenges and just different lifestyles in general that people in Alaska have, but definitely so beautiful and lots of cool things that I did there and got to do ministry-wise too. Some things I love basketball, grew up playing it, and that's just my favorite sport. I love hiking, anything outdoors really. I heard this is a great state to be in for that. So I'm excited to be here and to explore a little bit and to go hiking and to do those things. And I also play the drums. I've done that since I was in 6th grade. I played for junior high and high school band. I did marching band, pep band, all that stuff, fun stuff. And then also throughout that time, I also started in 6th grade playing for my church. So I grew up playing drums for my church as well. And my fieldwork church, I did that in college. I played for them, and then I did not play in Alaska. They did not have a need for a drummer. So, but I probably will be filling in here too. So that's awesome. And then over here, this is me and my fiance Abby. That is in Alaska. That was about 20 minutes away from where I was. Absolutely beautiful. Both Abby and the mountains, but didn't want to, get the wrong message there. But yeah, so so we're getting married August 5th. So shortly after that, she will be up here with me. And she also is a DCE. Not that she won't be here, but there's lots of different jobs that DCs can have. Sometimes they're out of school or through different Lutheran organizations that we're still kind of looking through and finding out what would work best for her and where God is calling her as well. But yeah, we're super excited to be here. So, that's back. So my job description, like Christine was talking about, Minister of Youth and Young Adults, which is a DCE. It's just a more specific role that I will be doing. Overseeing youth ministry, like she was talking about, eventually leading things like Ignites, Generate, Confirmation, youth retreats, etc. So everything youth related, 6th grade through high school in that regard. I'm actually leading Ignites, I believe it's March 5th. And just kind of, I've been observing, sitting in, and just kind of seeing how things are going and just learning how to do that. And so I will be just leading every once in a while throughout this spring, just to get used to it and to practice, and also to get to know all the kids, because that's important for them to see me and my face up here as well. And then also, like Christine was saying, with Generate, this one she is overseeing. I'll still be there, and I'll still be helping with it, just not in charge of it, because that has been a planning process, so she's already been doing that, and so she's going to take that, but I'll still be there and learning how to do that and how the process goes, and helping out in any way I can. Also, confirmation, I will be taking over next school year. So right now I am teaching religion, 6th grade religion at the school. So I've already seen some of the faces there. I've introduced myself to the school classes, all the classes there. And actually this week I'm starting to teach 6th grade religion there, filling in for Joel, Pastor Howard, and just kind of relieving that from him. And so the kids can see me, and I get a lot of practice that way as well. And then, so then after this spring, after the 6th grade religion class, next fall I'll be in the confirmation at the school, teaching the 8th grade there as well. And then youth retreats, this one, next weekend, Christine also is leading. I'm also there. I'm going to be there helping out, leading like small group sessions, stuff like that. But eventually I will be taking over that role as well and planning those and all that fun stuff. And also young adult ministry. So like Christine was saying, this is kind of a process that's been, hasn't been, necessarily like formed yet. So we're just I'm going to be slowly starting to build this ministry up through like young adult small groups, college groups, and that sort of things, those sort of things. Anna Whipperfirth is a member here. She actually has started a young adult small group, which is awesome. So I'll be talking with her and working with her on that end of things, and then also hopefully reaching out to the college. It's such a huge area of ministry, and there's lots of potential and opportunities there as well, because we don't want, you don't want to see your kids go to college and then lose the faith. And so we wanted to reach out and provide that sort of ministry and connection with grace to these kids who we don't want to forget about. So I'm really excited to be doing that. And so just starting to build on that throughout my time here. So my vision and excitement for these areas of ministry. So vision, just being intentional about building relationships. This was really stressed in my college classes, and I fully agree on it, as like the number one thing you can do is build relationships with these kids and build that trust and just be that role model for them, and just somebody that they can go to and not just look up to, but like be able to connect with like one-on-one as well, and just always be available for them, and just getting to know them. Obviously for me, I'm wanting to do that right away. Like that's why I'm going to these classes and observing. I'm here, and I'm really wanting to start building relationships with the kids, because I think that's really important on both ends. And helping each other grow in faith. Not just me teaching and growing their faith, but it'll also grow my faith too. Like I fully believe that it'll work both ways, and God will work through us in that way. And I'm excited to be able to provide those resources and teaching for us to grow in faith with each other. And like I said, making myself available for them is going to be really important for me, just so they can have somebody to talk to. They go through a lot, and they are also really busy and have a lot of things going on. And I want to be able to reach out in those ways and have somebody that they can talk to, whether that be here or at the school or whatever it may be, just being there for them. Why I'm excited? So one, it's God's calling, and like Christine was talking about, it's a whole process, yes, but we fully believe that God works through all this. And like I said, I was in Alaska and then here, and I had no idea where God was leading me. Through high school, I never knew what I wanted to do, and then college was kind of the same. And eventually, I just followed God and just trusted and prayed, and He's led me here. And I couldn't be happier where I'm at right now. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm excited. Is just because I've been able to see God at work through you all and through me and just Him leading me here. Keeps turning off.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Also, I love this age group, both young adult and youth. So I've always been told I was good with kids by family and friends, but I never really pictured myself working with them. But youth specifically, I love how I feel like I am able to connect with them a lot, and I wasn't a youth that long ago, so so that also is a plus. And it's just high school, junior high, it's such an important, pivotal moment for these kids. And like Christine will be talking about with families, family is the most important, but outside of family, I hope I can provide this kind of ministry and growth in their faith for them. And I'm really excited for that. And also with young adults, I haven't necessarily worked with young adult, that age group before, and so I'm really excited to be able to do that because I am a young adult, and so I'm really looking forward to being able to just connect with them and to, again, just to teach the faith and just bring them back to, or reach out from grace and just keep bringing them in and pour out love to them. And so also with that comes to getting to know the kids better. Like I said, that's my number one goal is to just get to know all these kids just better. This is kind of a transitional moment for me, and just that's kind of what I want to do right away is just get to know them. And I've been able to do that through the school and through here just in a couple weeks. So I'm really looking forward to through my time and just getting to do that. And then so meet with Matt. So there's a sign-up sheet in the back. I called it Mr. Matt Chats because Christine has her Christine Chats, so I thought it'd be cool to do Matt Chats or Mr. Matt Chats. So if you guys want to, feel free to email me or text me with whatever questions you may have, but also if you would like to get to know me better, I'd love to get to know you guys better as well. And there's a sign-up sheet there if you want to put your name, contact, and what you would like to do when we meet, whether it be coffee, lunch, just if you just want to call or whatever. Doesn't matter to me, but that'd be great, and I'd love to get to know all of you better as well. So that sign-up sheet is there for you if you would like. If now isn't the time or whatever, shoot me an email or call or whatever, and we can work something out. But yeah, so I don't want to just be youth and a young adult focus. I mean, that is my focus, but also that includes parents as well. And then I don't want to leave you guys out of things as well, because I am going to be the one working with your kids. So I want to get to know you guys better as well and give you that opportunity. So that is what we have, and we were just going to open it up for a Q&A if you guys had any questions that we could answer. We would leave it up to you guys.
So are there any questions that are in your hearts, in your minds, for Matt or for me? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you send out emails right now. So when is Matt going to start sending them instead so that we don't ask any good questions?
That is a really good question. So actually, he started working on the February newsletter, and that had some pieces of Matt in it. But his email address is youthmin@grace-connect.org. So mine's studentmin. His is going to be youthmin. So hopefully that's pretty easy to transfer. So you can send emails his direction. Again, it's not like you can't reach out to me about youth ministry questions. I'm not going to get upset by any means. It's just something that eventually we'll want to transition, those kind of things. And that's the same thing that Pastor Howard did when I took over youth ministry, is he would just start forwarding me parent questions, and then parents started realizing that I was responding and not Pastor Howard. And so that's just what's going to happen. And it'll be completely fine if you want to email me, but it's youthmin@grace-connect.org for his email.
And like you said, if there's anything I ever don't know the answer to, I will be talking with her about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just making that transition. Understand it's, it probably would be hard. Like, it's not someone that you don't know asking questions, and like we understand all that. So, but yeah, just making that transition and yeah.
But we'll still be doing the same communication as
Right.
far as texting and emails and that kind of thing. That'll just come from
I was also going to add with the one-on-ones. So that's a way that Christine has been able to reach out to you guys and to the youth, and that's something with the Mr. Matt Chats will be available to the kids as well. I want to be able to be there for them, like I was saying. And so with that comes the benefit of having a male and female on staff is that we can, I can meet with, more with one-on-one with the guys, and she can be with the girls, and that kind of gives them probably just more kind of making them feel like it's more of a safe space and just somebody that they can relate to on that level and to that side of things too. So that's also going to be really great, I think, for that to be available for them. So
Yeah, so I hope if you have a guy that is in our youth ministry, I know that just in general, I don't connect as well to them. And so it's really
Right.
cool that we'll both be able to be voices in their life. I think that's going to be really cool and really beneficial. Any other questions? Awesome. Okay, well, in general, I'm really excited that Matt's here. I hope that you guys just welcome him with open arms. I do hope you guys sign up for just a chance to get to know him a little bit better. I truly believe that God has placed him here, and I'm very excited to see what God will have in store for our entire congregation with this position enabling so many other things to happen. So, awesome. All right, well, if that's it, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much for your time and for being here.
yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.